11 wasn't chosen by accident. Dr. Brenner didn't discover her. Hawkins Lab didn't create her. And every theory we've been told about where her powers came from is only half the truth. Because the real secret is this: 11 is the one thing the Upside Down can't kill, because she's the only thing it can't fully understand. And there's a reason for that. Her power doesn't come from science. It doesn't come from experiments. And it definitely doesn't come from Hawkins Lab's attempts to copy number 1. L's power comes from Dimension X itself, not as an accident, but as something much older and much more important: a bridge. And that is the part of 11's story the show has been quietly hiding since season 1. But being the bridge between worlds comes with a cost. Because if 11's power truly comes from Dimension X, and by extension, the Upside Down, then she's the only one strong enough to end it. Not by defeating Vecna, not by destroying the Upside Down, but by sealing Dimension X forever, even if she has to stay on the other side. That's the truth the show has been hinting at since the very beginning. L wasn't created to destroy the monster. She was created to replace the monster, so no one else ever can. From the very beginning, Stranger Things showed us something subtle but huge. 11's powers do not match the others in Hawkins Lab. Not even close. Think about the other kids. Telekinetic bursts, remote viewing, sensory amplification, illusions, and mind tricks.
I can make people see or not see whatever I choose.
Impressive, yes, but all surface-level abilities. Human abilities pushed to a dangerous extreme. But 11, her power doesn't stop at affecting the world. It breaks the world. Because L can do things no other subject even approached. She opens gates. She closes gates. She reaches across dimensions as if they're rooms in a house. She resurrects life. She creates psychic shockwaves strong enough to alter the physical world itself. These aren't psychic abilities. They're dimensional abilities. And here's the proof we've had all along. The Upside Down reacts to her. Not to test subject 2. Not to 8. Not even to Henry before his transformation. Only L. Every time she reaches for that power, the fabric of reality pushes back, because 11 was never just one more experiment. Here's the strange part. 11 is born in 1971. Henry becomes Vecna in 1979, when L is only 8 years old. But here's the real connection everyone forgets. 11 is the only child in the entire Hawkins program born with her powers. Every other test subject was made. L was born that way in 1971 by her mom after she participated in the MK Ultra experiments while pregnant with 11, whose birth name is Jane Ives. Now look at Henry's timeline. For 8 full years, Brenner kept Henry locked, monitored, suppressed. He never used his powers on that scale again, never opened a gate, never tore dimensions, never reshaped reality, almost like something was waiting. Because the moment Henry finally unleashes his full power, the moment he starts to become Vecna in 1979, the person who stops him isn't Brenner. It's the child who was born 8 years earlier with the one power that can oppose him. Vecna rises while the universe has already produced his counterweight. 11 doesn't just defeat Henry. She completes the equation. If Henry is patient 0, it makes sense that L is patient final, a perfected outcome. There must be a reason she is stronger than Henry, Carly, all other test subjects. Lab experiments alone don't explain that. A connection to Dimension X does. The Mind Flayer retreats from her. Demogorgons pause, sense, hesitate. She can feel creatures before she sees them. The vines around Vecna react. She can reach across space-time using only consciousness. These aren't Buffy the Vampire powers. They're ecosystem powers. The Upside Down behaves like it recognizes her as something familiar, almost like she is made of the same language as it is, but rewritten into a human body. But there is something that made her stronger than him. She was exposed to MK Ultra before she was even born. Henry's power awakened in childhood. 11's awakened in the womb. That gave her something no other subject ever had. A nervous system built around dimensional energy from day one. We know Henry Creel wasn't created by Hawkins Lab. He was born with abilities that were later amplified by Dimension X exposure. He was the first, the anomaly, the spark of something the human world wasn't ready for. A dimensional mutation, not random, but reactive, because Henry's powers don't look like the others. They look extra-dimensional, chaotic, corrosive, predatory. 11 and Henry aren't connected because Brenner made them that way. They're connected because the dimension made them that way. Two sides of the same fracture. Henry, the corrupted version of the anomaly. 11, the corrected version of the anomaly. Vecna evolved into the darkness. 11 evolved into the balance. Mirrored children of the same impossible phenomenon. A power born from a world outside our own. 11 wasn't created to kill Vecna. She wasn't shaped to be a weapon or forged to be the monster who kills the monster. Her purpose is so much bigger and so much more devastating because Vecna is not the true threat. The cycle is a cycle of dimensional mutations, a cycle of psychic infection, a cycle that began with Henry Creel, continued through the Mind Flayer, and now lives inside Will Byers. If Vecna dies violently, the infection doesn't die with him. It jumps, it spreads, it finds the next host. That next host is Will. This is why 11 exists, not to destroy the creature, but to heal the tear that created it. She is the last child touched by the dimensional anomaly, the only bridge between both worlds that didn't break, the only human whose power doesn't corrupt her, the first being that the Upside Down can't twist, control, or consume. Her purpose isn't annihilation, it's restoration. 11 has never been the weapon. She's the only cure. And cures never win battles through violence. They win by closing the wound, which means to save Will, to seal the gate forever, to stop this cycle from repeating for generations. 11 has to pay the final cost. There's one rule the Upside Down has never broken. Every gate demands a cost. The first gate cost Hawkins Lab. The second cost Hawkins itself. The third cost Max's life, even if only for a moment. But the final gate, the one that closes everything forever, that one demands something else entirely. A life equal to the power that opened it. And 11 is the only being who meets that requirement. Because she isn't just the one who opened the rift. She is the rift's counterweight. The only life form built with Dimension X energy woven into her bones. If she steps into the breach, even for a second, the worlds would seal around her like scar tissue. Not in destruction, but in healing. Here's where her secret power comes into play. 11 has a power no one has ever named out loud. She is immune to the Upside Down's corruption. Think about it. The Mind Flayer can infect humans, but not 11. Vecna can invade minds, but not 11's. The vines react to her like she is part of the ecosystem. She can travel between dimensions without being rewritten. So her real power isn't telekinesis. It's being the only life form whose biology the Upside Down can't overwrite. But here's the part that hurts the most. If Vecna dies the wrong way, Will dies too. He is the tether, the anchor, the piece of the infection still echoing inside him. Killing Vecna cleans the wound. Closing the gate prevents it from ever reopening. But only if 11 is the one who does it. So the final war isn't about defeating Vecna. It's about choosing who gets to walk away. And 11 already knows the answer long before anyone else does. Because saving Will and her friends has always been the first thing she ever did. In the woods, in the quarry.
No, Ellie, you're not the monster. You saved me.
In the tunnels, at Starcourt, in the Creel house. Over and over again, she chooses them. In the end, she'll choose them again. 11 won't die as the experiment they tried to make her. She's the ultimate sacrifice that finally closed the break between worlds. The girl who held back the dark and paid the price to save the only family she ever had. She's the Guardian. 11 has always been narratively positioned as the sacrifice. Look at her arc, born from experimental trauma, pulled between worlds, defined by protecting others. The only one with the dimensional power to actually close the breach. Constantly told, you were made for this.
We've been building it for you, and now it's time to end it. And we are going to end you. And when you are gone, we are going to end your friends. And then we are going to end everyone.
Her entire story is a classic Chosen One tragic protector arc. She's Frodo carrying the ring, Harry walking into the forest, Buffy in The Gift, Jean Grey in Dark Phoenix, a mythic archetype. The Duffers never protected her because her sacrifice is the only ending that resonates. And remember, a sacrifice doesn't always mean she dies. It can mean staying trapped in Dimension X, merging with the rift to seal it, losing her powers permanently, being erased from the Upside Down's memory, becoming a guardian entity rather than a human. There are many ways to do a death without death, and the Duffers love bittersweet endings. This is the part Stranger Things has avoided for 4 seasons. The world saved not by friendship alone, but by the one person who was never allowed to just be a kid. Henry Creel was the first child touched by the dimension. 11 was the last. One became the monster. The other was born to end him as the cure. And that's the real secret identity of 11. She began her journey opening a gate, and she'll end her story closing the gate forever. Let me know your theories in the comments. Do you think 11 will become the ultimate sacrifice, or do you think Will is going to be? If you liked this video, you might also like my breakdown on Vecna's secret identity and why he's not the villain. So go check it out. Thanks for watching.